Alright y'all, here's what I got for you today. I know it's a little dark in here, but it's the best I can do about the light. I'm going to do a floor leveling project. As you see, there's a little crevice here where the laminate flooring went. And there was a little, there's a vent outside that vents the air from the fan. And, some moron, basically didn't see that the vent outside, had a opening in it, and the flaps were broke and caused water to leak back behind the wall, come down here, and then, it basically messed up the kitchen floor. So I took the stove out over here, and I'm basically gonna to fix this situation right here. And what I'm using is some quick patch. You basically mix it up, and it's like a floor leveler, and it will level the floor, and fill in the spots. And it actually, came all the way out to here. It's an inconsistency here, but the kitchen table will go over here. I'm not too worried about this area for now, but there's even a dip down over here, so it really leaked, but it is what it is. Don't need to cry over spilled milk. I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure it out and get everything straight. So it's part one. Alright, so here's how we're gonna fix this floor. Over here, we're gonna use that leveler, and we're gonna put that in here because that dip in here is the biggest dip. And I know it's hard for you to see, but let me zoom back out. But the dip goes from back against that wall, and it stops about right here for the main dip where I put my foot at. So now I'm level, my foot is level here, and it goes over there. So I'm gonna fill this in here, and then from here back to the wall, the water went in two separate paths from that vent. One side went basically in this crevice here where my foot is. One side went here, one side went there, and it went straight back to the wall and came out the other side, or during heavy rains or whatever. So, and then what it did was it put a hill right here. So I'm going to take some board that's about as thick as one of these pieces of laminate, and about a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to put them in there to still give it the same floating floor feel. But what it's also going to do is it's going to level up the bump on this middle part, and you put some on this side and some on that side, and then when you put the last layer of laminate over it, you're not going to be able to feel that walking across the floor, because there's no need to cut it out, because look how thick that is. That is 1 inch thick wood for the floor, and there's nothing wrong with it. Usually you cut the wood out if your trailer or house or whatever you're in, you cut the wood out usually on a house that has holes in it, like it's sinking, you'll fall through it, you know what I mean? But this doesn't appear to be the case, so I'm gonna go ahead, and this is my approach to fixing this particular project. Alright, so as you see, I have positioned the wood in exactly where I wanted it. This wood was the thinnest wood that I could get, and I didn't even have to go to Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever to get, more wood, because I had some. So what I'm doing is just basically filling it in with the wood. No one's going to know what's underneath it. You know what I mean? It's going to be covered up with this nice you know, laminate flooring. But what I am trying to show you is, you know, I'm trying to make the transition as smooth as possible. I told you down at the other end where it was leaking around the stove vent, that's too low. I can't do this same approach because that wood can crack. You know, you don't want it to be so to the point where it's going to break underneath. You know, nobody's a fool. You know, they'll know that the floor's messed up. You know what I mean? But this actually fixes it. So, you know, it gives you a more steadier, hopefully a more smoother transition. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, and the way that I'm achieving this effect is in the middle over there, those two pieces of wood over there, it kind of was, the water kind of drained to the right and to the left, and it kind of bowed the wood in a funny way. Instead of sinking, it just made one end higher and the other on both sides of it lower. So, and it could be where the board was originally nailed at. It made it like that. Or it could be a stud going straight in there, a 2x4, you know what I mean? Where the two pieces on either side could not sink like the one in the middle. I mean, it could sink unlike the one in the middle, excuse me. So, check this out. So we already know when we put the laminate over here, that it's going to be pretty smooth over here. I can tell by the way I'm stepping on it. I pretty much solved it. That's what's going on over here. This part's pretty much smooth, and then it goes down into a deeper area. So, I'm working with what I got. I actually could use another piece of this, but it's all I got. So, I'm going to take this piece of laminate and pull it up. Actually, that's the jagged side. I want to use the more smoother side, but you can't tell from this part. But anyway, it's not about the way the wood looks and all that stuff. It's about how the floor is going to feel when it's all said and done. That's what it's about. Alright. So over here, that feels pretty good. The only part that I'm worried about is where it comes back over here. I don't have a piece right here for this area. That's the other side of the of where it was bowed in at, or bowing out at. Back here is okay. Where I'm standing at, like I said, I'm gonna put some stuff there on that end. So, yeah. All right, so now I'm gonna start with this Mopay floor leveler stuff. I got water, so you always pour the water in first. I'm not gonna go crazy with this stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go crazy with this stuff. It makes more than what I need. Like I said, I'm just trying to fix the floor, and I'm not trying to overdo it with the water and have too much stuff. But and then I grab my bag and slowly start putting it in there and then stirring it up. You can't let this stuff get on the floor because it's really messy. But you know, I just hand cut the bag, put some of it in there, right, and then stir it around until it's like a mortar consistency. I don't know if y'all getting that, but I'm explaining it to you. You don't want to get this stuff on the floor because it's hard to get up. I can barely see what I'm putting in here. Alright, so I got a little bit in there. Not a whole lot. At least I don't think it's a whole lot. So, I'm stirring it up. Just pour it out. Just like that. Ain't no rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes you gotta roll up your sleeves, right? That's probably not enough. Just to start. We got a floor and it's lower. Sometimes you gotta fill it in with some stuff. You can't make nothing up when it's real, when it's too big of a space. I got a pretty good consistency now. Now I'm gonna walk around over here. And this time, I'm gonna dump it the other way. Coming from back over here. What level is, do you know, you might be scared to fuck with it because you don't know how to level shit, but can't nobody teach you how to glide that trowel. You get kind of like what you have with a level, you know, but don't worry about that, it's not that hard. You don't want to rake it too much when it's drying because you'll pull it away. You just kind of want to get a general idea, right? No, I might need some more there. I might need some more there. So you just kind of look at it and see. And I probably got that still in the bucket. Tomorrow, if it's not high enough, before I do my final, you know, whatever I'm gonna do to it, then that's cool. You know, I'll just mix up some more. But with this particular stuff here, I'd rather have not enough and too much. What you gonna do when you got too much? You got too much concrete in there, and it's hard, and you want to go any concrete when you got too much. There's a problem. All right, so here's the finished result.